Hello everyone. Jack Hapson is in touch, and this is a short retelling of a special episode of the TV series Fear the Walking Dead underwater. If you are wondering if the crew will survive, then look further, beware of spoilers. The events of the episode unfold on the Pennsylvania submarine, which is cut off from the rest of the world. The ship floats in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico and is filled to the core with nuclear fuel. It is worth noting here that a nuclear warhead cannot be launched without the keys that are in the possession of the commander and two crew members. The film begins with the launch of the missiles, but after we find out that these are exercises that have been repeatedly failed. The exercises are conducted by a self-confident officer named Riley, who is not afraid to enter into conflicts with higher command and defends his own opinion in any situation. Despite his difficult character, a brave man copes well with his official duties and does not avoid difficulties. Riley is unhappy with the work of the team and the response time, and the team understands this. After the exercises, everyone congratulates Riley on the birth of his son, which he is not particularly happy about. He finds another crew member named Pierce, who is receiving signals from land. But something is already wrong. There is complete silence on the air. Riley returns to the cabin and looks at the ultrasound photo of his wife. At this moment, the captain comes to him and points out that because of thoughts about his son, he did not do his job well, writing out a reprimand about the exercises. Riley says that he does not see himself as a father and draws attention to the fact that crew member Friedman is ill. There is not a word from the command on land. He doubts the conduct of the exercises, why they became so urgently needed. The captain asks Riley if he will turn the key and follow the order without hesitation, and he answers yes, but we look further. A sailor interrupts their conversation and tells them that Friedman is worse, he has appendicitis, and the doctor has never removed it, and there is no anesthesia on the ship. They go to the med wing and see that Friedman woke up and saw that he was being cut and died of shock. The body is placed in the refrigerator in the kitchen. The next scene shows that the guy who performed the operation blames himself and the management, but Riley calms him down and says that it's not his fault, because he's sure that something happened on land. At this moment, the radio operator Pierce reports that it was possible to intercept the message and that the army was involved in the country and something about diseases. After that, everyone gathers for lunch and the cook hears a sound. In the pantry, something fell in the refrigerator. It's a fallen corpse. The dead man comes to life and attacks him. Two people tried to hold him, but his insides fall out and he bites three of them. The captain fires 2 bullets, but to no avail. By damaging the brain, they manage to stop it. And so, 3 members are bitten, but they still don't know what awaits them next. At night, Pierce reports to Riley about the full text of the message. The submarine must prepare for a nuclear strike. There is something wrong on land and it is already very clear. Friends, mini pause. Activity on the channel is dropping, so I really need you. Pause this video, put a like and write any comment. This will allow my video to get into YouTube recommendations. Thank you and enjoy your continued viewing. They go to the captain, but on the way they meet the first mate. They try to restrain him, but nothing comes out and Riley hits him on the head with a fire extinguisher. Later, he sees the rest of the team devouring each other. He turns on the alarm and runs to the captain's office, and on the way he meets his friend. But he has to deal with him because it's not him anymore. Riley meets 2 guys and orders them to pack up, but one is bitten and the third kills the bitten and walking one. They meet another survivor and continue on their way. Due to stress, one of them kills a living one. He gets bitten himself and puts a bullet in his head. They reach the control room, but in paranoia, the captain points a gun at them and orders them to show their hands, but there are no bites. The order came to strike at Chicago and Riley does not understand why he should shoot at his country, because his child and wife are there. But this is probably the only option to prevent the virus from spreading to the rest of the world. The captain orders to get the key and strike, but Riley is adamant and refuses. The captain then orders the others to take the key, but they also support Riley. At one point, the captain gets sick and it turns out that he was bitten. Riley shoots him in the head. Do you think this is a sign of mercy or murder? They are going to float to the surface, but to do this you need to get to the bridge. They find out that there are still survivors and use the emergency ascent button. Now their main goal is to find their loved ones. They come out into the light and already on the shore, Riley calls his family. The wife says that her son's smile is an exact copy of Dad's and that everything is fine. But after a few minutes the tone of her voice changes and she apologizes and says that they held on as best they could. She doesn't hang up and we hear the screams and roars of the dead. Riley realizes that he will never see them again. A lot of time passes and Riley is still sitting in the same place with a gun to his temple. He hears a voice and an old man stops him and says it's not over yet. In this episode, they draw parallels between humanity and the complexity of choice and talk about the real values of a person, despite the fact that the dead are walking everywhere. That's all if you have watched up to this point. Write in the comments how you like this movie and do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is very important for development. Put a bell so as not to miss the analysis of new movies.